What it do? Thank you for tapping in for another edition of Live on Sunday. It's the greatest host in the known universe. I go by the name King Crowder. If you don't know who I am a black man in America. Most importantly, giving my commentary and letting you know what you should be paying attention to. Make sure you comment, like, share the live, comment on the channel, all of the above, baby. Number one thing before we go into, like I always do, man, book of the week. On Sundays, I always give you not only discourse, but information. And this is important for tonight's live. Our Kind of People. Our Kind of People is a outdated book, I would say, about black people inside of Black America. We got to learn of different people, ethnicities, thought process, culture, and how they influence and have effect on us to this day. Our Kind of People by Lawrence Otis Graham. Phenomenal read. I read this as a trench baby, a project baby, but I believe it helps you understand people's mindset, opinion, and how they think. How to Sell book is in full way. I edited chapter 9, got 4 more chapters, and the outro which should be available that I will be giving to y'all and feeding the streets. Today's topic is important to me and the thumbnail. The era of disrespect without accountability is officially over. FBA will be standing on business and making sure everybody will be having accountability. Let me go ahead and dive into the subject right quick. We have to understand when you deal with people outside of foundational Black American culture, how they respond, how they talk, how they treat you, how they address things is completely differently. We are in the second wave of delineation, thought process, and new era for Black Americans in this country. What we have to do now is overall view what we've seen happen, understand the thought process of non-MFAs, talk about what we see from the process when things don't go their way, understanding that they have an assimilation, a different mindset, a different culture than we have. So when we understand that, we have to move accordingly. Today's live, we're going to take an open snapshot on the story of Anton Daniels and Corey Holcomb. And I know the stories went out the headway. People haven't been talking about it, but I believe it's always important to check those things. And as a foundational Black American man, it is my job to make sure that I tell my young brothers, my cousins, my family, my sisters, and everybody in the family to watch what happens when you get in an altercation with somebody from a different culture. And I want you to watch how they respond, how they treat you, and how that has a bearing on how you move forward. Why is all this important, King Crowder? It is literally the Kendrick Lamar and Drake story over and over again. In foundational Black American culture, I can get in a squabble with you. I can get in a fight. I can lose that fight. You can beat me up. We can have a civil discourse, but I will never threaten your life. I will never threaten your livelihood. I would never do anything that puts you in a worse position because I know how difficult it is to make something happen in this country. When you deal with people outside of our culture, y'all, that sense of loyalty, understanding, mental, we get it, that cultural relevance that we all have and understand with each other, we have to check ourselves to understand that it is not the same. And why are you hitting that quickly, King Crowder? Because remember when Anton went to a podcast, said that I am going to make a bag off of you, threaten you, mention things about you, mention personal situations that you went with, and then I filed a lawsuit? Wait. I go to your house. I put my feet on your table. And when I put my feet on your table, you knock my feet down. You respond to me. I get disrespectful. You get disrespectful. The words will exchange. I then leave. And when I leave, I begin to keep talking. When I begin to keep talking, you begin to get talking. As you begin to get talking, you go further than I want to go. because in beef, there is no allies in it. Whenever you shoot a friendly fade, either you handle it right there, but when words are exchanged, you don't know everybody don't play the same. I exchange words. You go further than I feel comfortable with. And then rather than letting it be, because it was just a moment throughout history, I put the court papers on you. I'm not here to judge to say what Corey did was right or what was wrong. But what I want y'all to understand, this is the same playbook they all be on. The playbook they are on, y'all, is that you put your hands on me, you take a win, I'm going to sue you. That's what Drake did. The playbook that you got to understand, people of outside the foundation of Black American culture, that's what they do. King Crowder, man, he went too far. You went too far. Two wrongs don't make a right. A fair exchange ain't no robbery. A friendly fade is what it is. But people outside of Black culture do not think, do not operate, do not move, and do not have that same level of understanding with each other. And the lawsuit is about defamation of character. He is saying that Corey's remark was offensive and degrading. Wait a minute. You went inside of a man's house and threatened to put hands on him, call him a word that I will not repeat that was disrespectful, and the first thing you say is that he went too far? You both went too far. You both acted inappropriately. You both said something wrong. But to go around on the back end, and let's read it, y'all. Has filed a defamation lawsuit against Corey Holcomb, alleging false light defamation intent to inflict emotional distress. Did y'all read that? That brother said the allegations of defamation has caused and inflicted emotional distress. Let's keep going. And unauthorized commercial images of a minor. Then suit sent his official marks and t-shirt representing his daughter and wife, and it raised a complex arsenal of ethical issues. When the initial step was happening and the complaint was filed on one end, you cannot swing first and get mad when somebody responds to you. I want Black Americans to tap in. Remember when we kept talking about what is the point of the lawsuit? What is the point of the issue? What is the point of we checking in and checking notes with each other? This is the point. We got to check in. We got to have discourse, not to get inside their legal battle, but to understand, y'all. To understand, oh, this just wasn't a loss. This was an ego check. Yo, when you did that thing, y'all both were wrong. My opinion, it's both were wrong. But to put it in the court of public opinion and say the emotional side was crazy. Shout out to y'all too, man. Barbara Williams and the young nigga thought he told me I'm a reaper, ever mother drink Kool-Aid, black, all black. What? I can't read what you're saying, brother. I don't get it. But we're gonna keep tapping in. Yo, you got on TV, you got on a feature, you cussed, you swore, you made an allegation, you brought up what incident this brother had, and when he responded the same way you did, they were wrong. What is this? What is this, FBA fam? This is the lame side of the internet. This is the brothers that get in the fight and can't just take that loss. They're going to take you to court. They're going to call the police. They're going to act like something they ain't do was wrong. You know, the Drake, the Myron Gaines, the Antons, these people are showing you with their thin hands. You know, a lot of times when our ladies out here tell us that some of these guys are wrong, this is who they're referring to. When the ladies tell you that the men ain't acting like they're supposed to be acting, not pandering, y'all, we just got to keep it 1,000. This is the behavior they're talking about. And fellas, we got to keep it real. It is too much of this type of energy going on. Yo, fellas, if you get in a fight with a guy and you lose, it's fine. Fights happen, losses happen, disrespect happens, personal discouragement happens. All of that is a part of fair, love, and war. What's not a part of that is that we are not going to check on this behavior moving forward. We got to share our detailed notes. We got to understand who this guy is. And guess what, y'all? I'm going to, after the show, I'm going after the accountability code. I'm going after the false lie, the intention to cause different harms, and I'm going to use a dispute where I'm going to see compensatory damages. You know, I'm never for the beef getting this messy. I'm never for a conflict turning this left. But the one thing I want most men to understand now, this is the world we are living in. Step on it, check it when it happens right then and there, or move on. Because that situation between Anton and Corey did not have to go this far. But what I learned through this point of reference is when a man that is not of our culture take a loss, they turn into a white man route. Not saying the white man route as far as them acting that way, but bro, you took a loss. The loss happened, the issue happened. You said some disrespectful things. They said some disrespectful things. Both of y'all were wrong. But to then go on here and say all these other disrespectful things in real time, it is time to move accordingly. Remember, the era without accountability is officially over. FBA, Foundation of Black Americans, we're going to be checking any and everything. We're going to be discussing any and everything that's going to be to the table, y'all. Next up, man, on our next subject on Live on Sunday, Shed It Live, Shed It Live. You know, there's one thing, I saw this tweet today, man, and it was so deep. I'll take that, brother. I can't read. I'll take it. I read almost 50 books a year, but I can't read, brother. But I'm gonna let you have it, man. I'm gonna let you have it, brother. Man, a lot of the time when we talk about the diaspora wars and things that we are intertwined conflict that we have and we see online, this was a phenomenal tweet and message I saw this week. And the tweet said, the gender wars, the skin tone wars, the regional wars, all come from people outside of the foundation. And I'm going to say this, y'all. I 100% agree with that. I don't remember growing up hearing about a damn gender war, a skin tone war, a black preference. Man, listen, all that is fugazi. If you look good, you look good. All that skin tone preference, man, guys had what they like, but black women been getting chose. No matter what you look like, what your preference was, that is something outside of our cultural code. The regional wars, we traveled all the time to see my family. We went to different regions, different areas, different places. I have never felt a regional war and beef because we understood that we all lived under the system of Jim Crow. Jim Crow had a different effect on Black Americans. It caused us to be more unified, more culturally solidarity with each other, and more unified understanding. All this war, this upbringing, this divide stuff is not a part of our culture. It's not with us. It's not among us. And I believe what we are having in this accountability era is that we're naming it right. We are going back to the files, looking through the crates. And as we go back through the files and look through the crates, we are properly assigning where these issues come from. Because we can say this publicly. Let me say it right now. All my brothers are chocolate. All my brothers are different hues. I have multiple genders and people in my family, and not one time have I ever not seen the love among us. Not one time have I not seen the cultural understanding and the cultural impact. It's just been who we are. We love each other. We represent for each other. We assume positive aspects for each other. It is when you get into our metropolitan cities, which I live in currently, and you begin to see the stems of that. But growing up, I don't remember ever that happening, y'all. I remember you love who you love. You get the girl that you could get because it was hard to get one. You date who you could date because we could understand how challenging it is to get a girlfriend. In general, it takes confidence. It takes time. But to hear all these barriers have been there, this is all internet mumbo jumbo. Because when you step outside, when you put feet to concrete, when you actually in this field and you actually among people that are moving and grooving, none of these things exist. They exist among people who are dissatisfied. The people who do not have the love, the people who do not have the love and the understanding, the people that do not have that love and support that they want to have one, man. You feel what I'm saying? All you see is when you have it that you don't get to experience it no more. That's the truth, man. And the people right now, you don't get to feel it. You don't get to love it. you don't get to really have an understanding for it, man. But I think it's one thing that we got to express to, man. The culture of love, man, is becoming real. You feel me? And when we got the culture of love becoming real, one thing we got to understand is what's going to come from that. What's going to come from that, man, is that a more of an understanding, more of a feel good feeling. You know what I'm saying? More of, we got to watch and take notes and check on whatever is ours and give him proper representation of what's due. I think that is all a part of the game with that. And I do believe culturally, we got to laminate things that belong to us. And one thing that I think that is really eye-shocking to me this week is that if you do not know who the South African figure known as Malema, this week was groundbreaking news to me. I like going over stories like this because number one, it's important. Number two, as many podcasts feature guests we see from our brothers over in other areas, it is very few times when I hear subjects like this being addressed. And I believe this deserves a lot of attention. South African leader known as Julius Malema was a politician going with the Black empowerment movement in South Africa, has been found guilty of illegal purchase and firearm and possession of firearm in public. Think about this for a second, y'all. Earlier, standing on in a dark red tie, Malema was shown over Oliver Reed, was sentenced last year with a 5-year conviction of unlawful use of firearm and reckless endangerment. What? If the sentence is upheld, y'all, Malema will do 5 years in prison. The charges. This is the feature point right here, y'all. The charges were from 2018. I like to talk about stuff like this because when I talk about Black American culture and the culture of accountability being different and why we got to stand on business to talk about these type of things is that, this is a icon in the region of Africa who is going through a political prosecution as we speak. This brother has called out racism, fascism on the continent, speaking about the social injustice issues and what they're dealing with. And I went and scoped this week. I checked, I saw the article, I seen it came and went, and very few times do I hear the 1 in 54 podcast, do I hear other people really taking a deep dive on this issue. I don't hear them speaking about it. I don't hear the cultural reference points. I don't hear the political uproar. I don't hear the energy, the mentality of anger, the activism class. Nobody's saying nothing, man. We have our issues. We have our code step. We have our thing as foundational Black Americans that we are lockstep and focused on, and I love that for us. But we know a political leader in the continent of South Africa is currently on trial, facing a 5-year sentence for something that happened almost a decade ago, and not a peep. It reminds me of the Bafta incident, y'all. People from different cultures and other places will speak harshly about us, but when real life situations come about, you hear nothing. You don't hear any talking points. You don't hear any beating of the chest, any condemnation, any intellectual discourse. When we talk about Black American culture being different, this is why. This brother right here, y'all, is on trial. Think about this for a second, y'all. Imagine right now if one of our Black leaders was on trial, how much that would be in the algorithm. Imagine if a Black person had a charge from 2018, one of our political leaders had a charge from 2018, was currently being sued for a fireman of a gun arm right now in this country. Do you imagine people be in the streets? Do you imagine the amount of people and support they would have behind them? When we talk about the cultural differences, this is one huge one we got to speak about. We got to speak about it. We got to talk about it. We got to have a great conversation. And we have to be willing to engage in it. So when we talk about what we are doing, what Black people in this country are focused on, we have to reduce our eyes in the same way. I got to be asking y'all, all the African flags I see in the bios on Twitters, on the social medias and the other platforms, Where has been the 2-hour live stream about this? Julie Moreno has been the African Pan-African that's holding it down over there. And ain't nobody beat their chest about it. I ain't hearing nothing. I'm hearing about the award shows. I'm hearing about the rap list. I'm hearing about the Afro beats fell off. I'm hearing about everything else besides political issues or political formulas. I noticed that it's one of the biggest cultural differences that FBAs talk about. And we got to check in about that point. Remember, activism is a part of our culture. Activism is one thing that separates us from a lot of people. Speaking on politics is what we do. I'm going to change gears right quick because I believe it's important to talk about it. As much as we engage in social things, which I find incredibly important and fascinating, I do, and we're going to give our political commentary more, I saw something today, y'all, this week. And you know I like to bring up to y'all, but this is scary. While we're having conversations about the sports entertainment, which I'm cool with that, right? Other things that we see going on, yo, in Beijing right now, they have robots running. And I want y'all to see it because it scared me.
Right now. So this is the final stage for the sprints. We can hear a lot of people are shouting that the robot is coming near us. Well,
y'all, can y'all imagine walking down the street and seeing a robot running full speed?
I can't see.
It malfunctioned, it failed, but I want y'all to catch this.
It's okay. In the last 1 minute, let's see whether this robot can.
I'm gonna skip a little bit in front of it, y'all, so y'all can catch it. These are the people picking it back up, y'all. The people in that area picking it back up.
Finish line. Now you can see the engineer coming back. Right now, you can see that for these humanoid robots, stood on its feet, but if it cannot, like I say, all right.
Think about that, y'all. That thing failed. They picked it up, they re-squared it, and it's running full speed.
Come back to the game. Final sprints. You actually come past by our studio. Last 3 seconds. Congratulations to 001. This is the very first humanoid robot hit the finish line. Already surpassed the performance of a human being.
Did y'all hear that? It is already past world records running by human beings. This Honor robot that China is putting out in trials, having real world application right now, y'all, is running in these streets. Gas is high, everything is over here, but they are real life having robots run, move, operate, jump, and move faster than us. This is a conversation that is scary, but it's to look at it because number one, we got to check and see what we really focusing on. When we're talking about kids when they go to college, the point of education, the point of what the future is going to be on, this is it. China is literally having this broadcast on television. It's being broadcast, it's being shown, it's being developed. You have people out there watching it. This isn't like having it in DC. How we having robot running contests? I mean, running. You saw that thing? It ran miles on miles on miles without getting tired, hit, punch down, and still be able to slow down and go about itself. Robots can now run now, y'all. Remember those movie iRobots? All them shows that we thought were fantasy? This is the first step to say not anymore. We see Wagmos drive self-driving themselves. We're seeing robots run full speed to move about and go around. We have to mentally prepare not only for what we see about the current events, but about what's happening right now. And to see this thing have the ability to run full speed, we got to check in. We got to exchange notes. we got to talk about and discuss, and we got to really dive into, I know the college future is expecting this, but this could be something that potentially is going to be a lot of things that's going to be moving forward in the future, as far as jobs, as far as maintenance, as far as security, as far as application, as far as war, as far as battle, as far as prison systems. You got to understand, they're testing these things to be able to run. Which are they running after next? Criminals, people that are going against the law, people that are going against the grain. All of these tactics that we got to see, these minor drippers, y'all, we got to pay attention to that. And I think it's important that we go into this era of accountability to watch it. Remember, not only we are watching local news, local politics, local issues, which are extremely important, we got to pay attention and look over the curtains. We got to be monitoring what we see. And what I monitored and saw is I saw a robot with my very eyes run faster than a human being could ever run. What does that mean? Moving forward, how we talk about where are the jobs, the curriculum, the new things, the new tracks that we need to focus on. This is it. The labor, the tone, the fixing, the marketplace is already shifted. It's not going to happen. It's not why it's going to happen. If you are not prepared, ready, or openly ready to be in it, change yourself, man. Trust me. It was just scary to see, y'all. And it's not scary in like, man, I got to be prepared, but it's scary in the way that you got to prepare yourself. You got to prepare yourself. You got to be ready to change. And you got to understand when the world is different. And what brings to my mind about, I say, when the world is different, shipping back to stateside, shipping back to the States. I want to play a video, and I know we all remember this video. If you do not know who this gentleman is, he goes by the name of Lil Wayne. And Lil Wayne, sometimes you forget that the seeds that you sow come back not just through you, but through your career, through your children, through your life. But what you do, how you treat people, how you respond to things, what you publicly say will always come back to you. If you spend your time sowing bad seeds, you will receive the fruits of bad seeds and bad conversation. Pay attention.
What's your thought on Black Lives Matter?
What is it? What do you mean?
The idea is that there's this movement called Black Lives Matter, thinking that the rest of America didn't seem to understand that Black Lives Matter.
Just sounds weird. I don't know that you put a name on. It's not a name. It's not whatever. It's somebody got shot by police for a reason. I am a young, black, rich. If that don't let you know that America understands Black matter these days, I don't know what it is. Don't come at me with that dumb man. My life matter, especially to my.
Do you separate yourself from it?
I don't feel connected to a damn thing that ain't got nothing to do with me.
Why is that important to see, King Crowder? Why did you show that to me? I showed that to you, man, because it's almost funny, man, when people go through things in their own personal life, when people go through things that they're currently dealing with, it matters more to them. But what they fail to remember is how you treated those individuals too. Black Lives Matter will never matter. The U.S. All lives. Lil Wayne is a goofy. He is, y'all. But I'm showing it for context, fam. Lil Wayne made a post this week, and shout out to Friends on Millionaire. Shout out to him. Pay attention. It truly is a humbling experience of artists like me when events like Coachella, the Grammys come around, and like clockwork, I'm uninvited, uninvolved, underappreciated. I'm going to try to show you it better, y'all, so y'all can see it in real time, so I can have that post side by side. Let me see. I just saw something better. But what I'm bringing up, y'all, and here it goes, so I can get a better, I want y'all to have a better read for it. A better read, y'all. Wayne. And shout out to the commenter that said that. Wayne got in his bag. Yo, I'm truly am not getting the respect. I'm truly am not getting the love. I'm truly am not getting the respect that I feel like I deserve. Nobody invites me. Nobody says anything publicly about me. I feel like my career has been in stagnant mode. I'm not aging gracefully, etc., etc., etc. We got to be honest about Wayne for a second. I'm in your era, Wayne. The one thing that you got to understand, brother, is that there has been no aging of anything. A man that stands for nothing falls for anything. Your social commentary, your mental commentary, your content appreciation, everything that you have stand for, brother, has not evolved. I still remember when you got mad at Kendrick for performing in New Orleans when they had Maroon 5, and the Super Bowl has been there 7 times, and I didn't hear a peep about that. That let me know or tap into your culture and how you felt. You are a man that had a buzz at one point in time, which you deserve. But as you have aged, you have not worked on the man side. So when we see you, we see the exterior of a brother who is extremely talented that will never be denied. But you want to get treated as you have done the work to reserve that accommodation. Your music has not improved. Your subject matter has not improved. Your look has not improved. Your tone, your voice, the way of the man as you are has not improved. You still sound like you did almost 20 years ago. And the worst part about it is this: you don't seem to see it. You think that I deserve that same level of praise that I once got, that I once did. You think that I am still the same individual. You don't understand that you have fans, but your fans feel so isolated because you have not moved on with them. The artists that were behind you, the artists that were ahead of you are now surpassed you. Why have they surpassed you? The man known as Wayne hasn't had any quality anything in a while. No quality takes, no quality sound, no quality messaging. All we hear is the same old. And the nostalgia isn't there. Your tracks, your music did not have that longevity as some of your peers. And I hate, and this is just me, as someone that loved you in his college years, as someone that listened to your music in his college years, it has rubbed me extremely wrong that you haven't developed as a man. The man that we see as Wayne, Weezy, I don't know what you stand for. You from New Orleans, bro. The boot, Louisiana, bro. I ain't never heard you talk about anything that's going on down there. You ever speak about that boy that happened at LSU? Do you talk about anything real? We know you get high. We know you have fun. We know you dance. We know you love women. We all do. But the one thing we don't do, and I think a lot of guys got to understand this, man, when you show a lack of vulnerability sometimes, on record, on sound, on quality, you got to have something that's going to keep us engaged. All we know is surface level artistry. All we know is surface level music. We don't know what you believe in. We don't know how you feel. We don't know what you tap into. We don't know a strong opinion. You are literally just vanilla. And the vanilla one gets boring. This era that we are in, you have to show a different side of you. So your music, your culture, your ideas, your thought process are all over with. And the one thing I thought that Wayne did not expect the most, and this is just for me, y'all, is the way people view entitlement. And right now, Wayne, this tweet, you may have thought it sounded good, but you rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. The reason why you rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, dog, is that you think that you are bigger than a program. You think that the love that you once got, the love that you once shared, matters now. No, sir. On that hardwood, on that paper, on the note text, we don't see that. We don't see you as who you think you are. We see an older, decrepit, nothing talking about ninja. We don't respect you, Wayne. People don't admire you, Wayne. People like your music. That's it. And the moment you missed your mark was when that Kendrick incident happened. and how you said that you wish you could have been bigger than that. And you had the audacity to think that you were on the same level, but the man that you are has not accomplished nothing. So to think that you deserve these invites, to think that you deserve disrespect, the context is Wayne is a fallen star. He thought 21 Savage was after 21 people. You stupid, man. He better not find himself in an environment where he is unknown. The great Jim Brown, Hall of Fame, has Wayne transcended area? He has not. That's a great question, dog. I think he hasn't transitioned for Wayne personally, man, because his subject matter, what he talks about, what he chooses to listen to, is just not good. And I don't think he understands that. I don't believe that he has enough intellectual curiosity to get it. And I think it's actually sad because I believe the brother was a trendsetter during his time, but he did not. And I think it's more about the man, y'all. I think the man, what we see and what we're battling with right now, y'all, is the man of Lil Wayne. When the man doesn't develop, everything else in his life stays the same. He has been the same man he was. Tone, look, imagery, subject matter, what deep thought, discussion, anything has he done? It was trendy in the early 2000s. He was supposed to be smart enough to embrace Kendrick the way he was up for Axe Fam. But you know what it really was, y'all? He thought that he had the same star power that Kendrick did. Kendrick, as quiet as it kept, was the greatest thing that happened to hip hop. And people don't like this. He destroyed the corporate subject matter of what they thought that could make you relevant. What Kendrick did is he put up the mirror and said talent, bars, consciousness, and the foundation steps of hip hop still matter. Because the grassroots level, I love the way the music sounded because the guys have to really get in there. But as far as the corporate side, I love that it's died down. Remember, Sexy Red dropped the album, y'all. Where did it go? Did y'all know that? Album came, flopped real quick. You know why? The corporate status quo and the sponsorship is gone. What that means is that your talent, your skill set, your sound quality, your visual representation, your street team, all is what matters more. Not who's popping on Instagram. I personally think Instagram is on his last leg because I think it's boring. I do. I genuinely think the new social apps that will be outstanding and last long will be TikTok. Twitter will always be there because of the social commentary aspect. But the rest of them, I think it's all falling away and going away. And I believe because people have focused so much on the celebrity gaze. But back to what I was saying about Wayne. Wayne doesn't understand in real time that all his feelings, all his mentality views, all his intellectual discourse, all his battles and all his feelings end up hurting him in real time. And as we begin to talk about it, what it do, Mike? So like I said, man, as we dive into it more, it's kind of sad, man. And I know Mike was ready for this subject. He was cooking on it. Mike, when you saw your book, I know Mike sent me a full paragraph about this, y'all. Hearing Wayne said he feels underappreciated and undervalued, dog. As a music head as you are, what did you think about that, fam?
Lil Wayne, you should be underappreciated and uninvited. What have you done in the last 20 years to better yourself, Lil Wayne? You are still the same Lil Wayne from the Lil Wayne that we know and love in the past. Yes, Lil Wayne, you want to play the aloof, quiet guy. I'm off to myself. I'm unbothered. But you're not making yourself relevant in the music industry. Relevancy is everything. And yes, you have seemed to forge a place in music where you can still do the same things that you have done and toured, but your audience is gonna age out. It's gonna be a certain time that your audience has aged out. We're all older now. We're all mature. We all have families, kids, different things going on in our life. Your music is not relevant to the younger crowd that we have at this time. So yes, the Grammys are gonna go with the people that are still relevant. Yes, Coachella is gonna go with the people that are making touring and making money right now. I just feel that if you want to be in those realms and you want to participate in these things, you have to make yourself relevant and you have to make yourself more mainstream and do the things differently than you did before. I just don't see a reason for you to even make this comment or to even feel some type of way about people uninviting you. You've been doing the same thing for years and years and years. What song are you gonna play that we haven't heard before? Multiple times, millions
Oh,
of
somebody
times.
said to you, Mike, Big Daddy Kane embraced Jay-Z, facts, and advocated for him as an unsigned. Bruno Mars has shot work with Bootsy Collins, that's facts. James Brown Bassett's for the last 5 years. Who gonna last? Why did the one thing about me, Mike, that shocked me the most? So shout out to the brother for saying that beautiful comment. Is the audacity. People don't like entitled people, Mike. I only think Wayne understands.
No.
You have isolated your fan base by you thinking that you deserve it, dog. Like what? Like you said, Mike. What have you done? And I hate to say it, Mike. The fruits of your labor have come back, Wayne. Mike, remember that crazy stuff? I'm not black, I'm a blood. Like, what?
Right.
I don't believe in Black Lives Matter because my girl got me. Wayne said a lot of. Is he on dope? Well, I mean, what is he talking about? And I truly believe now, Mike. I mean, what's a Wayne feature in 2026, Mike?
0.
Oh, Mike said
I think we'll pay money for the nostalgia, but not. I mean, Wayne can still rap, so I'm just saying, bro. Like at this point in your life as an artist, right? You're still doing the same things, and yes, artists can do that. Look at Frankie Beverly when he was alive, he could do that, right? He could, but the amount of fans that he has that still likes that type of music and still adores that type of style are still going to these type of concerts, and it's iconic and nostalgic. Yes, Wayne is nostalgic, but is he nostalgic enough that we can continue to have him in the public eye and out front at these award shows and these big festivals? That is
Mike,
the question.
I felt bad, Mike. Wayne came down here, Mike, to the House of Blues. That nigga wanted $800 per ticket. I said, Wayne, the House of Blues, you wanted $800 per ticket?
$800 is absurd.
Mike, I was like, is he serious right now? Like, why don't you just get a bigger venue and charge lesser price to get more people to come? Why would you? You know what I'm saying, Mike? I was just like, is he serious, Mike? Like,
well, you know, the intimacy of a small venue and large ticket prices is all sold on like I can control the crowd and it's gonna be intimate, like unplugged type thing. But bro, I would never pay $800 to see Lil Wayne.
And Mike, he's not a good performer. He doesn't look like he's in shape, Mike. He doesn't like he take the craft serious. He looks like I hate to say it, Mike, and I really hit this home. He looks like a man that's plateaued. You plateaued, bro. And there's no shade, dog. I mean, I feel like you just a man. Mike, you ever met a guy that was still on that same stuff 5 years ago?
Yeah, bro. We got a guy we knew from high school, and the greatest thing that he ever did was high school and be popular, right? But you have to grow, and you also what they saying?
They said Lil Wayne like to got dealt with Southern Californians. Why even bother getting affiliated with any one of those sets? That's facts, Mike. The Bloods were in. How you in Louisiana, New Orleans, Blood, super. Yeah, you know what, brother cooking right there, Mike. How's that? Just that whole branding, like you grown now, but you still. I agree. I just think he's aged poorly, Mike. I would not pay for a show in 2026. I would listen to it, Mike. But would I spend my hard-earned money, Mike, to go to a Wayne show right now by how he looking, how he sound? Yeah.
But my thing is this: like, is he not understanding that it's over? Like,
Mike,
bro, you been not being booked at these type of things.
Mike said it's over with, Mike.
I just don't understand the pity party tweet. Like, it's a pity party. Like, oh, it's very humbling. Like, my nigga, if you that humble, then get in the lab and go hard.
You know what's crazy to me, Mike? I never thought I'd live in a world where Jeezy has aged gracefully. And Wayne, Jeezy and 50 Cent has aged gracefully. They still doing shows. And Wayne, who probably had just as many songs, has not.
I mean, you refuse to rebrand. That could be the gift and the curse.
Facts on facts on facts, Mike. And this is emotional one right here, Mike. I didn't know until today. Mike, 27 years ago, the movie Life changed the movie of America, Mike. 27 years ago, but people don't know, Mike. This film is about a real story in America about convict leasing, Mike. When you first saw Life, Mike, did you understand it? Do you think people really still understand it, Mike? Or your thoughts on the impact that held in the movie industry, man?
Man, I don't think people really understood the impact and the story behind Life. And every time that I watch Life, I get something different from it every single time. But I wanna point out something for the culture, bro, of where we were before, right? And you have to really apply, and I think you know where I'm going, right? You really
Mm-hmm.
have to apply the character and the manliness and the moralistic compass of Bernie Mac, right? And in the role that he played. We low key forgot that Jangalang was a gay man.
Right.
100%. Bernie Mac didn't wear a dress. Bernie
Mm-mm.
Mac didn't do anything inappropriate. Bernie Mac didn't do anything outrageous, outlandish. It was said that Bernie Mac was a gay man, but the display of what Bernie Mac was not in a bad light. It was tasteful. You almost forgot that Jangling was gay, did you not?
Hey, Mike, that's real. Hey, also the guy that killed him that didn't want to go home because he was gay, Mike. So it was done in a
Facts.
tasteful manner. You are right. You are spitting, Mike. You are spitting. Keep going, Mike. Cooking.
But I think the reason why Life is so iconic is because it's something that in the black plight that we can all relate to. Being accused of something that you haven't done. We all hear the stories of someone in our family, in that era of civil rights, being accused of something and having to reap the benefit, not reap the benefits, but be accosted by racism and not doing what they said you did and having to be punished for it. We all know a story. Everybody's family, if you go back and talk to the elders, everybody's family has that family member that had to succumb to those things. So
I
I
think the
think
one
that's
thing
why it's
about
so
life,
iconic.
I agree, Mike. I think the one thing about life that sticks with me, man, is that it's based off of real, like you said, Mike, real history. These brothers were falsely accused of murder, Mike, had to break out as old man just to get free. We saw racism. We saw the lack of injustice system, Mike. We saw a brother getting left because he was in prison, Mike. Like, you know what happened every day. You got a girl, she ain't gonna hold you down. Like, keep it funky, Mike. If you're doing life,
Right.
that relationship is done, bro. And she should have left, Mike. Let's keep it funky. She was not
Mhm.
wrong for even having to live her life, but like you said, it was such a real movie, and it also spoke about the chain gang, Mike. The chain gang is a history lesson, y'all. Was about convict leasing. Convict leasing is a subject of when back in the day, if you got caught for a minor crime, the state of Louisiana would rent you out to the state of Georgia to do work, Mike. People don't know that. Convict leasing took place for 90 years. That's what life is about. It's a story of
Mhm.
them being leased out. How did the railroad system came about, man? The
Right.
railroad system and all those things came about because of convict labor. That's when we talk about cut the check. That's what they're talking about. All of that stuff is happening in real time. And the movie came out as a comedy, Mike, but it's truly sad.
Well, it also touched on something that we're touching on more and more today, which is the privatization of prisons and prisons being able to become what is modern day slavery, right? You're locked up for a crime, and what is sad to me, and they're taking advantage of people in a disenfranchised situation, is you're locked up for a crime and you're trying to rehabilitate yourself, and you need money for commissary and things of that nature. So hey, you're gonna go ahead and work and sew these labels on these jeans, right? And I have this I own this prison, and my prison has a partnership with this jean manufacturer, and we're gonna have you install the zippers and the buttons on the jeans, and we're gonna pay you 35 cents to the dollar every hour for your labor, and it's nothing you can do about it due to the fact that you're incarcerated. This is your only method of income, and this is your only method. I think it's sick, but I think Life touched on that with the convict leasing, because in actuality they were actually making money for a prison.
You right, Mike. Somebody said you don't have to do anything today as a black man in the prison forever. The police are trying to get the case off the books, even if it means putting an innocent man in prison. That is absolute fact, man. And it's just scary, Mike, to see those type of music and how that music has aged. I mean, that movie has aged gracefully, and it's still true. And like, I'm gonna be honest for a moment, Mike, as somebody that has to go through the law system right now, y'all. My brother was murdered last year. Mike already know. Mike, I got to get sworn and subpoenaed to go up there and deal with that. So just to see how the internal legal system, Mike, how the lack of bedside manner, professionalism they have, Mike, that's a whole nother show we could dive into it. But like, I'm seeing the full side circle of it. Like, damn, y'all ain't even gonna give it time to you know what I mean, Mike? It's just, well, I need to get my, I mean, like even the judge, I mean, attorney and them, yeah, we got to make sure conviction happens because it's a legal year. I'm just like, wow, you are openly saying that, you know what I'm saying, Mike? It was just like, it's all a racket, man. At the end of the day, it's all a racket. But it also breaks in tune, man, like you said, Mike. And I believe this next video, man. Shout out to my dog, Mike, man. Where my call at, my dog, but looking good, baby. My dog looking back for Mike. This video right here hit me deep, Mike. And I like this brother Ray Daniels, Mike, former music exec. Mike probably know him more than I do, but he said something very serious about this subject of the Gucci Mane. Let's take a listen.
Skirt above that. That is a really important thing to talk about. When I came in the music business, you heard that rule. Like I had a white lawyer tell me straight up, black people can hit each other. Y'all can't hurt us. Like y'all can hurt each other, but y'all can't hurt us. That's the rules. And I remember thinking to myself, who the fuck made that rule?
Right.
Why the fuck can we hurt each other, but we can't hurt y'all? I think they made that rule. So it's almost like they encourage the black executives to be the friend, to be the partner. You look like him, go play with him. Not understanding that these dudes will hurt us because we look like that.
Right.
Now, here's the thing I want to say to the gangsters. I think y'all are pussy for that. I think that if you were willing to hurt someone that looks like you, but you wouldn't hurt a white exec, that's pussy shit to me. Because that means you only doing it because you don't think the police care. Because you know if you touch a white man,
it's going down.
The police, he's going to call the police are going to come. He's going to press charges. That's, by the way, as I'm thinking about it, that's probably the problem. That even with the whole snitching culture, black men are taught to take pain and deal with it.
And not to tell the cops.
And white men are taught to tell the motherfucking police.
Yeah, I mean, they following the law.
Yeah, so for me, when I saw that, I thought that it was correct. And I think Charlamagne only said it because he heard it. We hear that. I'm telling y'all, in the business, I've heard that. Y'all don't think like it's been nice lately because it ain't been as many gangsters in here. But 2006 to 2020, when you came in the room, like you knew what it was. But I'll say another thing, like look at it like this.
Mike, as a music guy, active in it, is he off base? Is he on point? Is he spitting facts?
He's spitting true facts, but I want to go even further in detail than what I think the responsibility of an artist should be. You are about to change your life and having a massive wealth that your life has never had before. I think it would behoove anybody, whether you're hood, whether you're smart, in any situation. If you're about to amass millions of dollars, you can do what I think is justified by having a lawyer come, even though you don't have the funds yet, having a lawyer come and review everything that you have and say, hey, this is the money that is promised to me, and I will pay you out of this money that is promised to me to make sure that my contract is correct. We get so excited about amassing a wealth that we've never had before that we don't even protect the wealth that we're about to receive. And it's always due to the low income situations that these artists are coming from. However, they don't have the right people around them or have the common sense enough to say, hey, hold on, wait a minute. Because I will say this, Pooh Shiesty had an opportunity to get a lawyer, to get somebody to look over it, and to understand the contract as a whole. We do things in haste when a lot of money is on the line and not do things in the right way. We need to slow down and do things in the right way. Because I will believe in, and I'm led to believe that if we had a lawyer or somebody smart enough to read the contract and not just sign the contract and understand the contract, bylaws and agreements, and have somebody not ready to negotiate on your behalf, then everything that happened to you is your fault.
I agree with you, Mike. And Mike giving the music. I'm going to give the angle, Mike, of I really do believe that, and I'm going to go with the cities right here, Mike. As somebody that lived in a big city like Houston for the first time, Mike, a lot of our black folk down here are pussy for white people. A lot of us are. Mike, 757, y'all staying on business. Y'all don't let people talk to you. In larger cities, Mike, because of the assimilation, because of you trying to get on, you trying to be cool, it's a lot more butt dancing down here, Mike. I have had experiences myself, y'all, where I've had to check another ethnicity and they have felt uncomfortable. You're not gonna talk to me crazy. You're not gonna disrespect me. So I believe that side of the argument, Mike, that you will put your hands on another brother before a white man in big cities is real. I believe a lot of us down here, Mike, are really shook about that. And I will go as far as to say that's why the Latinos say the N-word and it don't get punched and checked because of that. Since I've been here, and this is speaking from my experience, y'all, when you actually respond, stand on business, speak how you feel, you will check a brother before you check another ethnicity. And me living in the metropolitan city, Mike, 757 not like that, Mike. Y'all on code. I don't think I've ever seen no brother get disrespected up there. Houston, Mike, brothers get disrespected, and they let it ride.
Man, I think we should just all practice a stand on business policy. Stand
But
on
I've
business
learned,
2.0.
Mike, black Americans in big cities are different from how smaller cities are. Mike, I'm telling you, it's like I was raised around them. I don't want to ruin. Man, listen, bro, you will never disrespect me and it's cool. You will never call me out your name and it's cool. Many brothers that live in big cities or they getting Spanish coochie. Keep it funky, Mike. You know I'm gonna keep it funky. You getting access. Now you think it's cool. No, your daddy can't disrespect me. Your uncle can't disrespect me. Your mama can't disrespect me. I will stand on business no matter who it is. But I will say, this is just my experience, y'all. A lot of brothers, LA, New York, California, Miami, Chicago, they ain't on code like that all the time. That's just my experience. It's a lot of pandering. It's a lot of all lives matter. It's a lot of let's get along. It ain't a lot of, hey, bro, look, we're gonna go outside with it. Hey, bro, look, you ain't gonna call me that. It's a lot more of that, Mike. So I believe not Mike gave the musical angle. I'm speaking on the social angle that we'll get rah-rah with each other, Mike. But if it's an Asian man, we trying to work it out the nice way. They ain't putting hands and feet on him. They ain't slapping the taste out his mouth. They ain't standing on business. The energy just is different. You know what I'm saying, Mike? Like when it's us, Mike, it's up. When it's them, hey man, we gotta talk about. No, it's up,
bro. But we also, when we have, once again, when we get in this type of money too, we also got to put the people around us to show us that it's different ways to behave and to get the things that we need done. Ain't nobody ever sit Pooh Shiesty down and be like, hey, look, we're going to go and we're going to come with a lawyer and we're going to negotiate with Gucci Mane. We're going to come with some things that will be assets for him that would be able to allow him to relinquish you from your contract. This nigga was like, we're going to get him. Somebody was like, we're going to get him in the studio and that nigga going to release you, cut. And another nigga was like, yeah. Nobody was like, damn, I don't know. Like, bro, you got a gun in my head. I'm willing to do anything that you want me to do. However, afterwards, it's fuck you, bro. Like, you feel me?
I am not like I said, all that foolishness. Gucci 50 years old. He a father, grandfather. Listen, he doing what he's supposed to do. What I'm speaking on, and Mike, you're right, though. You know, I ain't questioning that. What I'm saying solely, Mike, is that I feel like a lot of our street cats, when it comes to other ethnicities,
they don't stand on business.
Mike, they don't. They get mad. Hey, Mike,
they be afraid of the consequences.
Mike, I'm telling you, Mike. I feel so strongly about it, Mike, like you said, because living in different, like I said, living in the 757, y'all, which Mike stay at, it was staying on business 365. It wasn't no pandering, it wasn't no playing no games. I saw Mike with my own 2 eyes staying on business. Down here, Mike, man, Mike, they be cooning and buffooning. They be token. I'm telling you, Mike, they be token. It's just me, y'all. I'm giving you my, and I can say this, Mike, because my energy has not changed. And when I speak like this, I get that, Mike. Well, you know, man, I've had somebody tell me I've been super black. I've had somebody down here say that to me, Mike.
Hey, that's a great compliment.
I know, Mike, but I've never heard that in my life.
Nigga, I'm super black. I'm just
being black. I just was like, what?
I'm super
you mean
black.
I'm confident? I stand on who we believe in. I believe in for us first. That's super black. Yeah, man, we ain't got to be like it all the time. Oh, Then I look at his girl, Mike. Oh, okay.
Bro, you know what happened to me the other day at work, and this
Talk,
is probably
talk
like
your shit, bro. Talk
this is
your
probably
junk.
like it's part of the conversation, but not really. So I had to speak. Oh, excuse me. I'm
You
sorry.
good? And somebody said, Mike,
So
too. White people came in the Missionary Baptist Church yelling the magic N-word out the roof, and they got they plucked out like females too. That's facts, Mike. Go ahead, just talk your junk. They don't stand on business enough. Go ahead, Mike.
So, bro, and it goes back to a conversation that we had. Like, yo, when people hear us articulate and speak in an educated manner, it's not code switching. Maybe it's just me being myself in a professional situation. I had a situation where one of my guys at work, I had to speak in front of a whole group, vice president, everybody, right? And he kept looking at me like this during the presentation, like, and I was like, yo, what's wrong, bro? He was like, bro, who are you? I was like, I'm me. That's just another version of me that you have never seen before because you went to North State, I went to Hampton. We be on black code all the time. And I didn't code switch. It's just you have to understand and know your audience. And Terrell, he was like, bro, I had no idea who you were. I had to keep looking at you. Why? Because I'm articulating intelligently. Like, we got to stop that as black people, man. We got to stop that. Like when you see another black person articulating with the education and fervor behind their voice and just doing the right things in the right moment, we're not code switching. How do you know we just not being ourselves and able to handle ourselves in a professional situation?
We know the one thing funny about that, and we give my dog a round of applause. This is my number one response when I hear brothers act like that, Mike. You know what I tell them? So we don't have intellectuals.
X.
Malcolm X wasn't an intellectual. Dick Gregory wasn't an intellectual. Honorable Elijah Muhammad wasn't an intellectual. Shahrazad Ali is not an intellectual. You only recognized our uneducated class, but not our intellectual class. Because intellectualism is something that's a staple, a part of us. Mike showing his intellectual class in a professional setting should not be shocking to you. What it should be shocking to yourself is this, brother. How come you don't know enough intellectual people?
Facts.
When somebody says talking white, what that means is mentally you cooning. That's what it means. The talking white term, if you do not get it, is because you are cooning and buffooning. Mike presents like a black man, talks like a black man, dressed like a black man, represents himself. So if you hear the words, I hear you talk like you white, it's because your vocal and the tone you speak with is. Because we have intellectuals. I have never been once accused of that. You know why? I don't present, I don't talk, and I don't coon and buffoon. Bro, if you hear that commentary, go ahead, Mike.
It kind of surprised me because you know for a fact I'm not cooning and buffooning.
Yeah. Well, you got to understand, Mike, that is the mental. And as we have these conversations, Mike, and no disrespect to our brother, some guys got to do that internal work to re-educate themselves. If you only watching the Zeus Network, the ESPN, and you not taking time to have intellectual discourse like me and Mike do every week, that's on you, bro. I love a good sports game, Mike. You know I love that. But at the same time, we talking about this business. Me and Mike talking about the reparations. Mike talking to me about social news and other things. If you can only come one side towards a conversation, that means you as a man have to do better. That's all that means, Mike. So that was nothing about what you weren't bringing to the table. But if as a man, you can only go right, Mike, and you have no left hand, you got to get in the gym, bro.
Thanks.
You got to put the damn work in. You got to put those shots in. If you only have a right hand layup to the basket and you can't cross over, your game is weak. So we got to come at other brothers like that, Mike. Again, when we have that check-in conversation, that's what it got to be about. So like I hear brothers, man, I hear I'm talking white. Yeah, you do sound like a white man. What? Yeah, that's what it means. You don't stand no business. Are you afraid to ask how they feel about reparations, man? That's the number one question I go to, Mike. I know Mike ain't scared. I heard Mike say it plenty of times. What a check at? Simple. All that conversation, all that vote blue. Now, listen, what a check at? Well, you know, we got to figure it out, sir. Conversation over with. It's simple. And Mike, I'm going to show you a video, Mike. If y'all haven't seen, y'all, I love this new energy we own, Mike. Mike, our generation is standing on black business. Mike, are you ready? Hope you're sitting down, Mike.
You are gifted.
This is Kamala Harris book tour, y'all.
You are important. You matter. You come from people. There is pride. There is pride.
On behalf of Foundational Black Americans, we demand cash payment reparations, Kamala. On behalf of Foundational Black Americans, we demand cash payment reparations. You're not going to use our ancestors' legacy to give money to illegals, immigrants. We're Foundational Black Americans. We built this country. We're not voting for you. We're not voting for the Democrats. And we're not voting for anybody until we get paid. Remember that.
Mike, I love it, Mike. Look, fuck all that talk. Cut the check, Mike. He said was actually, and you know, I don't know if y'all know Mike go hard about that cut the check. Mike don't even want to hear. They just going into us, Mike. Kwame Ture. Shout out to y'all, Mike. They giving you praise. You could do all things. But listen, y'all, in this new normal, they laughing, Mike. But look, we gotta be like that, Mike. We are not our grandparents being nice, Mike. I'm gonna let you cook first.
Bro, I'm not no we shall overcome ass nigga, bro. We have not overcame at all, and we keep putting the resources and the access into the people that's not doing anything for us. So, if you want my vote, what can you do for me? And if you're not saying that you're going to have reparations in any form, I'm okay with the reparations not coming into monetary form and coming into credit or other things that we have to research. But we at least have to find a conversation and talk about, hey, we can't do this, but we can do this. And it has to be something for all foundational Black Americans because we have been short-sighted for far too long. Like, I love the young man standing on business. Hey, we need to interrupt speeches. We need to have discord. We need to do whatever it takes because if you talking out the side of your neck and the one thing you haven't said is, hey, I am a firm believer of somebody getting reparations due to the inequality and the abuse that we have received in this country, then we ain't talking about nothing. It's reparations, first order of business, everything else.
Mike, shout out to my dog, Mike. I think the big thing for me, Mike, is that you cannot say you don't know what we want. And this is the thing, Mike. Trump has exposed you all. People don't like it when I say this, Mike. Trump has gotten office and done so much. He has shown you executive orders, free the guys. Whatever I want to do, Mike, can be done. It can be unpopular. It cannot be supported. What Trump has done while in office has removed all of the talking points. You have to produce something. You have to, Mike. Economic justice, houses too high, rent too high, meat too high, gas too high. Nobody cares now. Mike said it perfectly, man. Cut the check. I don't want to hear nothing else, Mike. Cut the check. We don't want to hear no symbol. I don't care who got a position.
Hey, look, if that's not the first thing, out your mouth,
I already know how Mike get down. Mike ain't hearing
it. We getting up, we walking out because if that's not, if we not on the same agenda.
And Mike, I don't want to hear y'all going to churches talking. Listen, we don't care about that. No disrespect to the old folks, Mike. We not listening to that. We live in today's time. In today's time, it's hard out here. Straight up, Mike, you know, Mike in these streets, it's hard.
Bro, and I'm not trying to hear about no immigrants, none of that shit, cuz.
I'm with you, Mike. I just don't think they understand for how serious we are, though, Mike. I don't think they understand, like, yo, this is a new normal for political agenda. This is a new normal for how people feel. There is no more, we're going to overcome, we're going to be nice, we're going to go along to get along. No, sir. This is the new normal.
And I want us to know as Black people, we need to stop voting for Democrats just because we historically done it. We actually first started as Republicans, and the Democrats have a historical foundation of racism. But we're giving away the Black vote, and we have never, not one time, not even when Obama was in office, got anything in return. So stop freely, willy-nilly giving up the Black vote. We need to have new Black leaders. I don't know. I could do it, but I'm 37. I think somebody younger should be able to do it. But I'm just saying we need somebody leading the faction that's not gonna take no shit, man. Like we need somebody that's
Go ahead, Mike. Keep cooking. No, I'm about to say somebody said black folks are outnumbered. I don't think you understand. It doesn't matter who outnumbered, brother. Politicians have showed that migrants that were not legal to this country got preferential treatment by cutting the money. What you're saying sounds good, right? But you got to understand, if you've already been showed that I will get preferential treatment and I can do for you what is unpopular, we don't give a damn. What he's saying, Mike, is the outnumbered. Listen, I hear what you're saying. But what did migrants get in this country who do not even have the right to get anything? So what you said would make sense 10 years ago. But now the precedents, the president, the new type of philosophy has been set, brother. So friend zone, it sounds good. Go ahead, Mike.
He's saying black folks are outnumbered, but it's not that. That's not what we're stating, and that's not. It has nothing to do with anything. We have historically gave every race, religion, creed, and other ethnic groups money for wrongdoings. The Japanese got money for wrongdoings. The Israel people the Jews got money for wrongdoings. When we captured something about the Chinese and the Asians when they were being mistreated, they got money for wrongdoings. Every other ethnicity group, every other religious group has got money for wrongdoings, and you have admitted, besides 3 nations in the UN, that the act of slavery was wrong, and that some type of monetary or some type of reparational action should be taken care of. And we refuse to have the conversation to cut the check. It doesn't matter about the number of people outnumbering us. It doesn't matter. Injustice was done, and we have paid people that we haven't even had anything to do with. That's the problem. We're still paying people to this day that we didn't cause the injustices. We didn't cause the hurt, harm, or danger to them, and we're paying them $18 billion a year. And you mean to tell me that just because groups, what is your point? That they outnumber us? We have been done wrong, and we're the only group that hasn't been made whole. If you made us whole,
my response to that commentary by the brother is this: it would make sense if they didn't happen in real time. Follow me. If you did not make it happen because they both switch roles, they are racist. But you got to understand, if we're going to be uncomfortable, everybody is going to be uncomfortable, bro.
100%.
That's the difference now that I think you have to understand. At point in time, everybody would be uncomfortable, and we would stand up and still be actively involved in the political process. Now that we have said our demands and the demands haven't been met, now you have to understand that the other immigrants and other ethnicities in this country will have to face the bruise of racism head on. We're seeing it openly. We're seeing it with ICE. We're seeing it with these people have improved with. So right now we have already showed, so we're going to be uncomfortable, Mike. Everybody going to be uncomfortable, bro. It ain't going to just be us. And I think that's what people are not ready to hear, Mike. People are not ready to hear that commentary.
Dude said that we haven't proved that our people was enslaved. Okay, look, bro. We're not gonna go through this again. It was multiple genocides, right? But the biggest genocide was the paper genocide, and I'm not even gonna get into it because we don't need to prove that we were enslaved. The world knows. That's why the whole world, besides 3 nations, agreed to that slavery was an egregious act. So it's
you
already
can vote for
proven.
whoever you want to, man. I ain't judging nobody. Vote for whoever you want to. You feel what I'm saying? You don't have to respect. And another brother right here, look, man, they'll never respect black people. Red, some white folk have no problem repeating differences. You are seeking respect, brother. What you keep saying is about respect and understanding. You're speaking on respectability politics. What I am saying is that the culture of lack of even that is not there anymore. Follow me. You are saying historical incidents and wrongs that have happened. True. But there has never been a focus point on economic restoration. There has been on integration. There has been on civil rights. There has never been a full court press on this subject that we are ever doing right now currently. That is the difference. And I'm going to say it again. If we can't get the comfort and the leisure that we want, nobody will, right? So you sound good like everybody's still the same. But no, it's not.
And I don't give a damn if you respect me as long as you pay me, nigga. Like,
I think that brother is going off the notion, and he has the notion that we were raised upon, Mike. that, oh yeah, man, we're seeking this. I want to get paid. I want to get this. It has to be friendly. Now it's different now. You know what I'm saying, Mike? That's it. All the blacks wasn't enslaved. You can't get compensated for. He just trolling, Mike. He just trolling. We ain't even got to respond to that. But I do like, Mike, that the brother stood on stage, Mike. He stood on business. And I think, Mike, like you said, we have to do that more. And it's starting to happen more. And it's starting to happen. The intellectual discourse we're seeing in real time, Mike. And also, Mike, our politicians are being pressed. They being pressed as we speak.
What now? 130 million. That has been.
Well, 250 is what they say.
Yeah, yeah.
Misuse funds meant for child nutrition.
Yeah, 230 to 250. There's been about 77 or so.
75 defendants.
Yeah, that have been indicted. Many of them have taken the agreements.
That makes it. They got to make it hard for you, right? Just in general, not because you got anything to do with it.
Yeah.
But when he can point and say, "Well, this actually happened."
No, I mean, it doesn't make it hard for me, but it does make it hard for, the average Somali business owner.
There you go.
It makes it hard for the average immigrant business owner. It makes it hard for the average Black business owner because it does create this cloud of suspicion, and obviously it's become very politicized, and it will continue to be politicized as we get closer to November, and the level of harassment people are dealing with. Even you'll have people go to restaurants, coffee shops, with their cameras harassing all of these business owners
and daycares
and
right?
daycare centers,
Spread to
where
daycare
people have
centers.
not been able to take.
All I heard was that fraud that happened. You ain't addressing it, Mike. Did you hear what she said? Go ahead.
This may sound like bigotry, but I promise you, I'm coming from a place of love. We have to understand that we are putting these certain politicians in seats, right? And yes, she is Somalian first, and we have to understand that she will look out for the Somali race first, right? We need to put people that is going, and this is going to sound so terrible, but I don't even care. We need to put people that have the American agenda in the forefront, the Black plight in the forefront, the foundational Black American agenda in the forefront. Yes, it's cool that we put you in office in that certain area. It's probably a bunch of Somalians that's how she got in office. But we should make her stand on business that her first order of business is home, the home front. But we got to stop putting these people from other countries into established lawmaking decisions, because they're going to make laws according to the people that they come from, right? Their origin. So maybe we need to put more people with the origin that we need into these places, because what's she doing talking about the Somalians?
No, I agree with you 1,000%, Mike. I think we are in a new era and a new energy, and I don't think they pressed her enough. The Breakfast Club did not press her like they press Umar and other people that spoke about Black issues. That's the number one problem I got with them, Mike. And number two, Mike, it's been so much fraud up there. Don't understate that. They've been scamming. They've been and fraud and scamming means theft.
Right.
The theft that's been happening up there has been egregious. The friend zone, that could have been reparations right there. The fraud that they've been given, the money they've been getting as far as them SBA loans, taking advantage of those programs, not having the real money. Yeah, they need to be frowned upon. Black men get frowned upon all the time. If Pookie and Ray Ray rob a gas station, they gonna say me and Mike robbed the gas station.
Right.
What's the difference? You deserve that bad press. You deserve that bad publicity. It needs to be frowned upon among the Somalian committee, because somebody should have said something. Acting like that they are exempt from criticism, acting like that you don't represent it, acting like you ain't benefited from it, acting like that you shouldn't be American first, Mike. Let's go there, number one, Mike. How are you a politician in America not representing our family values, our system for American citizens? I understand.
Isn't that treason? Isn't that treason?
Crazy, I think it's crazy. You know what I mean? I think it's crazy that philosophy is allowed to be pervasive. I think it's crazy that all of those things seem to happen in real time. And I think it's crazy, like I said, I always go back to this point, Mike. The average young American teenager right now graduating from high school, what are his career options? Right now. How are we going to keep our young man motivated? If I'm fresh out of 18, Mike, we know college is too damn high. We know that. What are you going to do to motivate them?
Facts.
Right now. What are their career opportunities? Those are the conversations that our political class are supposed to be worried about. Not going to the Breakfast Club cleaning up the fraud. Not the Breakfast Club got soft kid gloves on and Charlamagne being nice. But when other people on there, you asking hard body questions. That is what make people question your credibility. Yes, she need to be prepped. Yes, she need to be talked about. Yes, she need to be really going into. And this is the reason why that needs to happen. Like Mike said, Mike, you wasn't no bigot. You talking real, Mike. Again, Mike, we've been in this country, Mike. Mike, a college graduate. I'm a college graduate. We've been out here all the time. Thank you, Lone Wolf, man. But we for real, Mike. What is the conversation about what we're going to face right now? What is it, Mike? You on here talking about the Somali plight and all that? No disrespect. As Mike said, I don't give a damn. I just don't. I'm for real, man. And I think it's gone too far to the left in the pendulum, Mike. I'm for real on that, man. And as we continue to cook, Mike, I saw something very interesting this week, Mike. You know, I'm gonna keep the live going. Shed alive, Mike. Man, I think this is beyond disrespectful, Mike, but I'm gonna let you watch it. And you know, my dog Mike always got a different opinion. African Week in Memphis, Tennessee. African Day in Memphis, Tennessee.
So this is our Africa in April parade. Memphis, we gotta do better. I remember her and her husband doing this when I was in elementary school.
I'm gonna pause it right there, Mike. And this is a part two. The reason why, before I get on Mike, take off, why I wanted you to see that, Mike. And the reason why I wanted you to see that, Mike, is that I'm starting to notice a pattern with they doing this at our events. This is Howard University African Takeover, Mike. I don't know if you noticed that, Mike, like I did. Why is it the representation must always be in our spaces only? Why is it the flag waving, the constant, we are proud of where we come from, which is nothing wrong with that? Why is that only exclusive in Black areas, in Black towns, and Black locations? I have never seen the African takeover at William & Mary. I've never seen that.
And you never will. You never will.
I've never seen the African takeover at ODU. I've never seen the African takeover at the George Washington, Mike. At VCU. Why is it only at HBCUs? If we all Black, Mike, why do you have to differentiate yourself so much when we have those type of functions? Let my dog Mike cook on that.
Well, they feel comfortable doing those type of things because it's already invited. Like, hey, we celebrate all cultures around here. Hey, we are not just Black, but we're African, we're Haitian. Hey, instead of just being foundationally Black at a HBCU, you know, we incorporate the Black plight of every nationality into the American Black plight. And I think we should have been stopped doing that because it's dangerous, because then it blurs the lines of why they think they should get reparations. That's how us being inviting everything in is always have been our downfall, due to the simple fact that every time we're so inclusive and allow things to occur, it backfires on us because those people never foundationally have our back to begin with. It wasn't a unity thing. It was immerse yourself into what I can get. You know?
Yeah, I agree, Mike, and phenomenally. So I think the part that gets me the most too, Mike, is that you never have the energy the other way. If it was at William and Mary, Mike, African takeover, I would respect it. But it's only given around us. You were at the premier HBCU, which is Howard. Why do you got to do that? Do you do it at Harvard? Do you do it at the George Washington in D.C.?
But you won't do it. Those places won't allow you to do it either.
But I'm just saying, Mike, if we are all black, as we say, and we all the same people, we all this, it's a microaggression in the way, Mike. You feel what I'm saying? Like you said, it's almost dangerous. Yo, I'm here, but I ain't like you niggas. I'm here with y'all. I'm taking the benefits. I'm taking the cost of attendance seat, but I ain't like y'all. So to me, it's almost, Mike, in the word takeover. Mike, I don't know how you feel about that. That's a hostile word, Mike. Why do you need to take over HBCU? Why don't you take over PWI?
Because they cannot.
So you think, Mike, it's an already open name, but they're going too far with it, Mike? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's the invitation has already been there for acceptance. At a PWI or another type of institution, that acceptance level is low. So the comfortability and the audacity is low as well. They're not doing that because the invitation to be inclusive is not there.
My dog Mike cooking, man. I just think that I'm starting to notice, like I said, Mike, I've seen it one too many times. And it's to the point now that it's like, nah, I think we really got to start saying something from it, because you got a whole day, whole flag dressing up. You around there, you got app takeover all over. I think that's almost disrespectful. And I believe now it's to a point where it's like, hey, y'all, we are inclusive, but the political energy, the movements around this country, you give somebody an inch, they take a mile. Because the way you flexing, which you should be proud to be in college, we don't see that energy in your homeland, Mike. I want to see that same enthusiasm the other way. Can we go to Nigeria and flex like that, Mike?
No, you cannot.
Can we have Black American takeover?
No, you cannot.
Why not, Mike? They can have African takeover, man. We can't have Black American takeover.
I told you, bro. We allow everybody to do everything. And
so Mike is already saying, no, they can't. Y'all speaking facts right there, Mike. You on point. People agree with you, Mike, for sure. I agree with you, man. But I think we have begun to share notes. What I mean by share notes is that we got people, Mike, that are so blatant with it, man. This one's gonna piss Mike off. I already know, but I gotta do it. Akon, where the city at, Mike? I gotta start calling him Dr. Umar. Where the city at, bro?
Where the city at, bro?
Somebody sent me this, Mike, and it got me going.
Every rapper is rich. Gold chains, Bentleys, nice girls by the pool with bathing suits in his big mansion. And then when the video's over, they get on their phone and call an Uber. They don't even come in the Bentley that you just saw in the TV. But you go to Nigeria, we got Wizkid, Davido, P-Square, all these guys driving a Bentley, Mercedes. They actually own those cars. That's the difference. But if we don't translate that, they will never know. They think we're going to leave the shoot and go home.
Mike?
First and foremost, let's say this. Akon, you're the biggest Benedict Arnold that Africa has ever seen. You got a loan, $1 billion loan for China, and defaulted on your loan, which you gave away the national rights to the land that city was supposed to be on. Now China owns that city. So if you want to talk about ownership, you have let a colonizer in, and now they own a big part of your country. You defaulted on $1 billion loan. Let's talk about, since we don't own anything, why is your culture tailored to scamming and dishonesty? Let's talk about that. Why is your culture tied to deception and corruption? Let's talk about that. But like, this is what happens when we let somebody other than us come in, portray unity, portray uh community, and they're not of the community, right? He's an imposter. This is what it looks like when we let imposters into our space, take over our music, and do things that are inclusive and not exclusive, because then they turn their back on us because they're not like us. As Kendrick said, he wasn't just talking about white people, but he's talking about these people that assimilate when they come to our country just for the wealth and the notoriety of being black. They're a different black. They're not us. But we let Akon come and get amass riches and then go back to his home country and scam us.
I think what's rich about that too, Akon, didn't you ride Jeezy's coattail?
Hard.
Didn't Jeezy put you on through the song before you had money? Didn't you make up that whole story about drug dealing? It wasn't you? Didn't everything that you made about Locked Up, you bit from somebody in our culture, Akon?
Thanks.
Everything. So for you to get over there and act like everybody popping, like it, no disrespect, man. We gotta say it. We see how y'all living, dog.
Mm-hmm.
We see you shitting in the street. We see ain't no running water. We see you eating dirt cookies. We see them on the back of the bike, Mike, ride with each other. We don't see no
that's so
indoor
crazy.
song, right?
This shit that's so crazy is you talk all this shit, but you have a selfish mentality yourself. All the people that you name, rich as fuck, but your country still has disparity.
And that's the point I'm getting at, Mike. Like, you are saying these type of points, Akon, disparaging us, really, saying commentary about people that are trying to get it, while it's not the same on your end. So you got all this comment, you got all this beating with your chest. You have done well for your family. I will never go against that. Akon, you got some questions you need to ask too. We talk junk and hold our leaders that we talk to crazy accountable. I don't hear no podcast talking about Akon, man. What a black brick that ask Akon where Akon City at, man? We see a million podcasts talking about us, man.
Right.
I ain't heard one. What Godfrey had asked about Akon City? Ain't nobody asked. Me and Mike have asked several times, Mike, but I don't see the same energy. That's the problem I got with it. The energy towards us always is hostile. Like you said, Mike, not like us is real. But that energy, that fervor, that commentary, well, they ain't that talented. They ain't got that much money. Huh? If they ain't got that much money, how they getting the money, Mike?
Right.
Because, Mike, didn't Afrobeats fall out?
Facts.
Who listening to it right now? I see Tim's doing R&B.
And when the last time Akon got a hit and hasn't had a failed business?
That's my whole thing, man. I mean, I think it's crazy. I agree with y'all. Everything he needs to shut up. He's still coming to Black America. All facts, y'all. Akon has the right to come. Have the right to come and go, brother. Type up, man. He talking big, man. He been up in the comment, Mike. Let me drop it again. I'm gonna block the buddy from talking, man, because he didn't comment a few many times.
Come through. Man, why don't nobody be hey, why the ones that talk shit ain't scared? They scared to come through.
Mike, they always, my brother's brother gotta come. They always scared, Mike. Either tap it, I'm gonna block you, brother. Because you're talking good about what you feel and what you think. You need the vocabulary recommended in real time. And all that yapping, bro, stand on it. If not, I'm gonna block you, bro. That's it. Simple, Mike. That's how we do over here. Next one up, Mike. Oh, this is a good one right here, Mike. A few more for my dog, man. Mike, I don't know if you saw the NPR interview with Dave Chappelle. It was amazing. You know, we always give y'all cultural commentary that's on point. Take a listen.
As soon as a black man can make money off the plantation, they try to tell you that the money is dirty. Well, okay, I'll go home and spend the money with actual slave owners on it. Right before I went on stage, they gave me a list of all the things I wasn't supposed to address. It was like right before I went on stage. So I took the list on stage, and that was the show. I just did the list. Don't talk about the royal families. That's y'all or not? Just made fun of them. Man, they were screaming. Ah. Then after the show, I'm backstage at a meet and greet, and there was all these young comedians from all over the Middle East. They were looking at me like I wouldn't even know that they'd know who I am. They couldn't believe I was there. They kept saying, "You just say that? You just say that stuff?" Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not a big deal in my mind, but I never forgot that. And that was in Dubai. Man, in Riyadh, that crowd watching that comedy, the first time the government let them even see something like this, it was like a baby tasting sugar. If I had choked a tiger out, they couldn't have been more impressed. They were screaming.
You think you're creating space for them that
I
wouldn't
mean,
exist?
at the very least, and this is not nothing, that must have felt incredibly cathartic if you can't say everything you want to say, but you see somebody model that behavior. Oh man, you're gonna want it. So if you think of all the violence and all the things we export to the Middle East, I think our culture is the best export we got.
Mike, Dave Chappelle spoke a lot of harsh truth right there. The criticism on Dave and his stand-up show was about him going to the Middle East, Mike. But we make deals and operate with the Middle East all the time, i.e. live golf, i.e. boxing. The Turks, Mike, they did the last fight. Why is it a problem when a black man like Dave goes and get that bag, but when y'all go and get that dirty money, it's fine, Mike? I'm going to let you take off on that now.
I think it's because when somebody has the same foundation that me and you, Terrell, have, that we'll speak our mind, it's always, oh, we cooning and buffooning, or we're not putting the money back into the culture, right? But if they could do it, we could do it, and we could do it much better. And why not be international, multinational known? Like, it would be a bad business model to stagnate yourself and to be into one time zone, one area of expertise, one country that likes you, when you can be worldwide. A global economic system of income is better than a domestic one for sure. So I see it's the bag, and I think we should commend people for doing that. Like, hey, I appreciate you going to other markets, because what we got to realize is we're community, right? Our comedians and affluent people going to other markets, understanding other the cultures is just going to bring us together closer in unity. Anyway.
Well, I think the one thing that was so deep for me, Mike, is that the one thing that was phenomenal for me that he said was that we don't realize how big our culture is internationally, Mike. When we talk about us, Mike, as black people, we get the hate, Mike, because the one thing that we do, we influence everybody. When we say not like us, when Kendrick has those records, when Mike is around in the studio, when we have our commentary, it is because it is different. The way we talk, the ideas we discuss, the things we communicate, all of that is extremely different from what most people in the world do. When disrespect happens among our culture, Mike, we discuss it. We don't be quiet. When the BAFTA happened, Mike, I ain't hear none of the UK say nothing. It was us standing on business like, y'all can't talk about Michael B. Jordan that way. Right. You can't talk about Ryan Coogler that way. Kanye West been having a mental illness for 10 years. Ain't nobody giving him no pass. So it's cool when you do it, it's a problem when we do it. So I think it was phenomenal what Dave Chappelle said. And I think the number one thing that we keep forgetting, Mike, it's only dirty when we do business, Mike. But y'all got live golf, Mike. The Turks had Gervonta Davis fight in Vegas. So when you get in the bag, it's fine. But when I get paid for using my services, now the money is dirty. With slave owners on the money. The money is dirty, but we got slave owners on the money. Come on, y'all. Stop. Just tell it what it is. He's getting paid more than y'all think he should get paid. And y'all don't understand how popular Dave should. That's an international superstar, man. You can't do what he does, and that's the issue, Mike. He has the ability to talk crazy to the royalty class because they know Dave is not doing it from a place of disrespect. He's doing it from a place of comedy. The white comedians are upset, Mike, that he can do that. That's the truth. So, like, hearing that commentary, Mike, and I want everybody to watch the whole entire live and discussion about it, Mike, it was a phenomenal read. And I do believe we got to start having these conversations like we always do. Because right now, Mike, I've been telling everybody, Mike, we are in the pull-up era. We are in the pull-up summer. If you haven't heard, y'all, Kamala Harris got pulled up on. Mike seen it. Where the check at? Oh, we ain't talking about money? Deuces. This is the pull-up era for all politicians 2026. If it's not discussed with the money, we done talking. Mike, this subject is heartbreaking, but it goes deeper and deeper, Mike. More about it. And I know my dog Mike didn't get to give his commentary on it, Mike, but the lady that died from the white fiance in Africa, Mike, it gets deep. Her mama dated a white man, Mike. Her mama married to a white man, Mike. And I know Mike didn't get to go take off on that subject from last week. I know Mike wanted to get it, man. So I'm gonna let you get it as your last one. I see my dog, man. Mike, your take on that story you've been hearing about the girl that went to Africa with the husband, man. I know you want to give your social commentary on it. Crack it open, dog.
Man, so this goes back to, remember, the brother that dated the white young lady and she killed him, right? We are starting to see a pattern that is just, you know, it has been happening for years, but we have more cameras, we have more internet and everything like that. I believe, and I don't wish any harm, hurt, danger on anyone, but if you have the ideology that you cannot respect the culture that you have come from, the culture that has nurtured you. I know there's trauma in every situation, and I know there are things that have probably happened to you from the culture that should not have happened to you, and we apologize. But I will say, if you are talking bad about the culture and you don't respect the culture and don't agree or assimilate with what we have going on, and you do other, right? And when the other becomes violent or the other becomes what it's not supposed to be, but what it's already been, and you just didn't realize it, I don't know if I can actually feel like it's terrible that you lost your life, but you bad talk the culture so bad talk. Oh, I don't date blacks, I don't do this with blacks, I only date whites. These are the things that happen to you, and it's hard to feel sorry, bad, or feel sympathy for you or empathize with you when you put yourself in a situation of danger just because you thought that other was different. What we fail to realize as a culture, that other has never liked us, other will never like us, and other has never loved us. So it's not surprising when you get yourself in a situation of hate, when you get yourself in a situation as unremarkable rage and they start doing things to you. The love was never there, but as sickening as it is that you have self-hate, self-doubt, and you hate us, you hate yourself, you hate the culture, you then embed yourself and lay with people that hate you internally and externally. They hide it, they mask it. It's little subtle details. I can guarantee you get in an argument and make somebody mad enough, the first thing they're gonna say is you a nigga. Period. Why would you subjugate yourself to being part of somebody that hates you and never had any love for you as a cultural, race, or ethnic background, right? So I cannot feel too sorry or sympathize the fact, like, I'm sorry that you lost your life, but you bad talk the culture so much that you made the seem that the grass was greener and it wasn't.
Phenomenally said, Mike. Let me go ahead and get my dog.
What you think, T? Do you think the chickens are coming home to roost?
I think, Mike, we are not taught too much on how cultural preferences. Mike, you know what we don't talk about enough? When you date, i.e., marry someone, you're not just marrying them, Mike. You're marrying their family. You're marrying their family's anti-black, Mike. You're marrying their family's thoughts. You're intercommingling everything.
You're integrating their ideology, 100%.
Most of our people are not taught, Mike, and I'm going to say specifically our women, to think that we are in a post-racial society. We don't talk about race in relationships, Mike. We don't talk about racial dynamics. We don't talk about, yo, he may like you, how his mama feel. He may like you, how his uncle feel. They may like you, how the cousin feel. What would they call your children?
Can they bring you to the family reunion without looks or stares?
And Mike, I believe if anybody does not know, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing has a book called The ISIS Paper. I believe anybody that dates interracially needs to read this book, Mike. Chapter 1 in this book that stuck out to me that said, white people have a culture of war. What do you mean by that, King Crowder? When they are kids, Mike, what do white men give their white sons? Guns. Hunt, kill. We don't do our children like that. Culturally, we are raised differently. How we handle our anger, how we dispute, how do we have a different mentality? You have to understand, when you deal with somebody from a different culture, when you respond to them with disrespect the way you do a brother, he may not respond to you the same way. How many times have we seen a story about a white man killing his whole family, Mike? How many times have we seen them shooting up the whole neighborhood because they got fired from the job, Mike? They have a culture of war embedded in them. And a lot of the times we do a poor job of breaking that down. All the time, man.
And us as a people, we're a loving culture. We're
Yes.
nurturing culture. We're
Yes,
cultivating culture.
And we
historically, go ahead. I was gonna say historically, if you look at the actions of people of brown skin color, we are not a warmongering or fighting culture at all. Now, we will fight to defend ourselves in the things that we believe in, but we are not outright going to kill you as a culture. That's not in our DNA.
Yeah, man. And I think that's one job, Mike, we have done a poor job with educating our people on how serious that is among uncolored cultures, Mike. And it's sad because you don't know how the conflict resolution, how they handle things. You just know that I'm going with you because, Mike, and if you got money, and it's something else that somebody said to me, Mike, you mean a rich white woman didn't want him? A white woman didn't want him? So he skipped over all the women in his culture,
right,
and chose you when he got money, Mike. That should be a red flag. That should be a red flag, Mike. That should be a flag to say either he wants too much, he does too much, he's violent, or something serious that is happening that women within his culture are not dating him. He's choosing to date an extremely dark-skinned woman. Let's be funky, Mike. He's fetishizing her. Is it love? Because why didn't he have kids with him? Was he married? It's so many variables to it. But I do believe, Mike, at the end of the day, do not be idolized because these people will harm you. They will. And we got to talk about it, Mike. And it's not to be funny. It's not to punch down. It's not to kick down. But we got to understand racial dynamics are real, man. It's real. It's not all, but a lot of people, like the men, get fetishized and they tend to think I am different. Man, Mike, thank you for checking in with me, dog. I know my dog Mike came in and cooked tonight, man. Mike, tell me what you got going on this week, fam. Let them know where they can find you at, all that good stuff.
Hey, cuz, first of all, shout out to my barber, bro. I gotta say it again, keeping me looking fresh. But yo, it's your boy Where McCall. You can find me on Where McCall on the gram and Mikey McCall on Facebook. You will be surprised. I don't really post that much, but I'm going to change that. I got some things in the works that is gonna cause me to be able to post a lot more. But yo, holla at me if you need a friend, if you need prayer, if you need anything, man. We got you. Peace.
See you, Mike, man. Make my dog enjoy his evening. He cooked up tonight, man. Thank y'all for tapping in with me. A few more subjects that I want to hit in with tonight, man, that I really, really want to dive into my people, man. You know, people don't give you credit by who did it first, y'all. We give credit of who did it the best. I don't know if y'all remember this content creator, Fat Boy SSE. He had some commentary he wanted to say about Drewski. Let's pay attention.
At the end of the day, I'm the king of this content shit. I'm the reason why it's Drewski's. I'm the reason why it's all these motherfuckers out here, right? Because of me, right? But I do things different. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, Drewski does his way. I do it my way. I don't have to do it because he's doing it that. Because some people want to tend to say, oh,
what is your way, Fat Boy? We know you had a little run where you was funny, you was angry. What are you talking about? Like you pioneering something, dog? What?
Oh, you stop running so he could walk, or some bullshit, some goofy shit. Right. But it's like if they came under me, that's like Michael Jackson and Chris Brown. You can't. I'm like,
you didn't start and you wasn't as funny as Drewski, dog. What are you talking about? We remember you. You had your moments, but you weren't as innovative or trendsetting.
Michael Jackson of this shit. You get what I'm saying? But I'm not a comedian though. Right, I got other shit going on. I'm a mogul. Not saying he's not or other people's not that's doing this. I do it my way. Right. I do it my way, and I still make money. I don't give a if he making more than me. I don't give a he's doing other shit. He's doing way different shit. At the end of the day, I'm the pioneer for this shit. I'm the king of comedy.
I think it's funny, man, to hear him keep saying pioneer. It don't matter who did it first. It matter about who did it the best. Bro, you had your run, man. Just say congratulate the Drewski. What are you talking about? All this you pioneer. You ain't do no stand-up. You started something that was trendy. He took it and made it to another level. You didn't monetize and see it through all the way, but to say like you created an industry or a genre, you weren't that influential at Fat Boy. You had a wave, though. I ain't gonna never respect it. You started it early, but it was angry and it was different. But as far as creativity, investment, setup, there's no comparison. There is none. Pioneer mean you did what Drewski did. That's pioneering something. Innovative mean you did what he did. Set some momentum and implementing it. That's all what that means. But everything that you did was all very basic, man. And it feels like shade. When people go on these rants right here, y'all, and you demanded credit for what you started, like it was so sacred early on, you got to understand, man. We know you weren't that influential, bro. And there's nothing wrong with what you had. We proud of what you had, but your run was forgettable because it wasn't as impactful and it wasn't as long. You had motion. You had things happen. You lived up and provided for your family, but then to throw side shots at the brother as he's still actively inside of it, it's crazy. Neither one of y'all doing stand-up. Neither one of y'all have stayed on the comedy lane and revolutionized it. Nobody put out no film, no movie. It is strictly online short humor that's not as thought-provoking, which Drewski is doing more thought-provoking things. But for you to have such of that realm, man, I know this is with some guys, y'all. When you really start to build up, like I've had it in my own personal life. Let me go ahead and be honest right now. King Crowder, you just started this. You haven't been on the field long enough, but I've been inside it and I've done the foundation work. I do it in real life too. Community days, black men events, actually doing it like I'm walking, like I'm talking. I'm just not on the mic with it. I choose to invest in it in real time to have real sweat equity. I've had brothers really try to press that upon me, man. And I always tell them, I'm not competing with you. I'm competing with me. Drewski's only battle is with Drewski. His battle is not with Fat Boy. Your battle right now, you listen to me, is between you. Do not be externally motivated. Be internally. Nobody that's around you, nobody that's listening to you should be able to have anything, but you should only be battling with yourself. Better than you were yesterday. Better than your last podcast. Better than your last recording. That is the ultimate message. Not competing with anybody. I don't compete with anybody. I only compete with me. My rhetoric, my reading, my learning, my thought process, my family, my provision, my guidance. You are not competing with anybody. So when you hear this type of talk right here, you got to know they're competing with you. It's not the other way around. And how can it be the same when y'all are completely different? Are you excited to do it, man? Are you happy? No, man, you not. You feel what I'm saying? So it shouldn't be like a disrespect or anger type of thing. It got to be a reality moment. Salute the brother and leave it alone. I'm happy that you living and providing for your family, dog. I appreciate you how you took what I started and revolutionized it, period. But all this rah, 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 I did this, I did that, I motivated this, I did that, man. That's hate, bro. That's fall off talk, bro. That's people that ain't having no impact, bro. That's what I see. That's what I feel. I don't know about y'all. I believe that we should always be checking the poach on that. I believe that we should always be checking on and see what you got going on. And when we check notes and we have intellectual discourse, the rest will leave it for itself, man. I believe this is a phenomenal subject right here. I'm not really a passport, bro, but I believe you should always listen to all brothers, what they have to say about their opinion and their expertise. 4 brothers talking about an interesting subject. I want to give my commentary, but I want y'all to pay attention. Tell me what you think. Tap in. Share the live, comment, like, subscribe.
There's black women that walk around that think that their hatred of black men doesn't count as anti-blackness. Their definition of anti-blackness is if it affects men that's in the LGBTQ and black women. If
there is a phenomenal book, y'all, called The Man Not by Dr. Tommy Young that speaks about this. Black boys from an early age are not taught that they can be fully human or fully male. you have to have the approval, the authority, and the understanding to understand that logic. It's a phenomenal read, but I believe this brother's talking more about it. I'm gonna let him take a listen.
It's a hatred or misandry or wishing the worst thing possible. You want him to get accused of something. You want him to lose all his resources, his fine, because he's dating a white woman. You comfortable with them dying. You're wishing the police take care of them. Gender-based abortions. Why would I want to try to protect women or mourn or even try to fake mourning and grief for women that I know think like this?
I guess for me, I won't say that. I will always say this, man, and this is going to be a hot topic. The people that are going to mourn and love for you and protect you are going to be your family. We got to stop with this notion that people that are not under your leadership will ever be guarded as much. You have been given an opportunity to have a spouse and a partner in marriage, in love, in life that will protect you. If you do not seek, earn, or gather that, it will be really hard to put that expectation against any other men you meet. My daughters, my lady, my kids are all my duty to protect them no matter what. It is my responsibility. It is no reason in this world that burden belongs on another man. It belongs on me. That is the point of the covenant of a union between a relationship between a couple. So I do not believe that the whole I feel unprotected, that's the point of your husband. That is the point of your man. That is the point of the one that's leadership of your home. So I do believe that brother has a phenomenal point when he discusses that. I do.
And the worst part is, it's not just the women who have the mindset. It's the women who don't have the mindset but are still cool with them.
I agree with that too. I agree that if I'm around a brother that don't take care of his kids, I'm enabling him. If you do not take care of your family, you cannot be around me because I don't approve of that behavior. If you are a woman and you have women that talk bad about men and you are around them and you choose to engage with them, you are part of the problem. If you know I don't agree with the behavior, your lifestyle, and how you're going about things, I can't sit around actively act like I'm cool with that. So the women that hear that rhetoric on the same way are equally wrong. I 100% agree with that. If you're not living right, if you're not doing wrong, if you're not taking care of your kids, you can't be around me. If you know people have that rhetoric and you are silent about it, that is in a form of agreement. Remember, y'all, mixed messaging, unclear about yes or no, go with no. People that are silent when you ask them something, go with no. We don't do unclear messages around here. We do not do unclear speak.
To still befriend them, who still hang out with them, who still act like this isn't what it is. The best way I can articulate why my view is when I say specifically which type of black women are you talking about, this is the equivalent of y'all looking at me and being like, Jeff, I'll be cool with you, but you keep hanging out with these Klansmen.
And I believe that Brother Jeff is absolutely right. Let me go deeper with it. I want y'all to pay attention to something. We got to stop acting like every person you meet is a quality individual. Every man is not a husband. Every woman is not a wife. Every man is not a man. Some people are boys. Every man is not a provider. Some people are meant to provide for themselves. Every man is not high value. Some men are average. Every woman is not a good quality woman. Some women are low quality. We have to get our labeling of those things correctly. And I believe the labeling has been bad because relationships have not been pushed. Relationships are not at the forefront. Everything currently in the millennial generation, specifically on down, is always self-serving first. What am I getting? What am I getting? What am I getting? It is never, I'm into a relationship with you. What will you bring or provide? You know, people got a conversation about the table, right? That's always a toxic thing. I think the better question is, what could I expect from you in this relationship? I think that is a legitimate thing when you're talking about a union of somebody forming together. I do believe this brother Jeff is on a great point of view because I do believe that is a main talking point and component that is truly missing. Not the superficial stuff, but hey, what can I expect from you as my partner? What can I expect from you as my helpmate? What can I expect from you as a person that we will love and build with each other? I do believe that is a phenomenal question. I really do.
And I'm saying, Klansmen, they're not a bad deal. There's nothing wrong with them. And they're saying, Jeff, it's a Klansman.
Well, and I believe, man, that was a phenomenal talking point. It's not about division, it's about intellectual discourse. Number one, I always I always worry about people that say if you say something, it's divisive. Remember, you must have conflict before the resolution. If you avoid having a conflict, I'm nervous about you. We're going to have uncomfortable conversation. We're going to have heavy discourse. If I can't do that with you, run. And I don't judge by who you love. My brother, I have brothers that have the same interrelational relationship. That's not an issue for me. The issue I have is knowing how you're going to mentally assimilate and raise a child. Shout out to you being a single father. Shout out to y'all. Shout out, not 50-50, y'all funny. But I'm saying on the real note, y'all, when we see conversations like this, it's always talked about in a divisive manner, right? Divisive meaning nothing's getting done. Whenever I talk about something, I always prefer to have a solution with it. Right now, the biggest issue we have is we have a political crisis and we have a family crisis. Like all of our conversations, we are in the accountability era. That means we're checking it, we're discussing it, we're talking about it, and our expectations will be different. Economically, it's bad. What we're going for right now is difficult and challenging to do. Like all of our political discourse and discussion, I love it. I want us to continue to have it. I want us to continue to champion it. And most importantly, learn that the summer of 2026 and the rest of 2026 year is the pull-up year, is the advocating time. It is expressing ourselves. It is no more we're going to go along and get along. You have to stand up for what you believe. You have to have a strong message and a strong level of discourse as we continue to have it. And most importantly, we never fall out. Hair, teeth, and tongue fall out with each other. We family. We can fight, we can fuss, we can battle. We can have an intellectual discourse and conversation, but we ain't never falling out with each other permanently. Remember, hair, teeth, and tongue fall out. Family, we squabble it out. Thank you, man, for tapping in with me today. Oh, let me go and give you my quick promos. Remember, Trade Day is on the way. My brother was murdered last year, y'all. Sad, I know. He has his trial, but we're going to have a Remembrance Day in Roanoke, Virginia. This time this summer, which I'm going to give you more details and information about. May 3rd, we have our Community Day in South Park in Houston, Texas. BMBC, I will be giving you the details on that. My schedule may be modified a little bit, y'all, because y'all know I got my new baby. She'll be here, I think, in 1 or 2 weeks, so that'll be baby number 2, baby number 3. We'll have it all coming in. So BMBC in May, that's our next big event. My lives will still be good. I still be having that going, but I want to let y'all know a little bit of change may be coming just because of getting the baby assimilating and with the family process. So cousin reunion, Trade Day, BMBC clean event. The next thing I want you to do is that as we close, the era of disrespect without accountability is over. Foundational Black Americans are checking any and everything throughout the door. The era that I love to build with my community is vulnerability, honesty, integrity, and most importantly, we're going to stand up for what the summary is going to be. I want you to know who you're dealing with, how Black people around you will have a comment and discussion, and most importantly, what could you see coming up in these future days? Remember, share the live, hype the video, like, comment, share, subscribe. Trade Day, BMBC community event, baby girl on the way, and most importantly, thank you for tapping in with me for another edition of Live on Sunday, man. It is your host, King Crowder. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed the live like I enjoy you. I want to thank everybody, man. Thank you for tapping in, D-Mon. I appreciate you, man. Thank you always. I'm going to be in H-Town through July. Let me know when you touch down in the H, baby. I love to meet my subscribers, man. I do. I love to meet y'all. So like I said, I'm a very active guy. We try to make sure we got it going on, man. Everything will be coming soon. Most importantly, share the live, hype the video, watch the replay, like it, smash it all. Everything that I'm making, I'm doing it for the family, y'all. We got more and a lot more things coming in. How to Sell book is on the way. The next venue, the next workshop, we'll keep it all coming, man. Until next time, take care of yourself. All your mama, daddy, tell your brothers that you love them. And see you next time. Yeah.